A manager at a popular Santa Monica bar is dead after being punched by a patron. Good afternoon. This is the Ktla Dt News at 4 o'clock. I'm Courtney Friel.
And I'm Corrine Winters. Samantha Cortese has a day off. Police say the manager of Jameson's Pub was assaulted after he asked several customers to leave the bar.
He was knocked unconscious and later died at a local hospital. Ktla Dt Sandra Mitchell joins us live from Santa Monica with more on what happened. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, this is one of the most charming, considered one of the safest neighborhoods in Santa Monica. That is the pub just behind us, and there are cameras all over this area. Santa Monica police now tell us they were able to take some security footage, zoom in, and then determine who threw that deadly punch. The deadly altercation started inside Jameson's Pub, a gathering place for locals and tourists.
I come here fairly often with friends. Atmosphere is always a good time, and yeah, everything. There's never been anything that's been bad.
Tuesday night on the 2700 block of Main Street, just after midnight, the bar manager, a man in his 50s, escorted 3 rowdy and intoxicated patrons out of the bar.
When they reached the sidewalk, there was an argument. A single punch was thrown. The victim likely hit his head on the way down to the ground, and it was those things that ended up leading to his death.
Santa Monica police arrested all 3 people and later identified Leonard Corpy, a 26-year-old from Venice, as the main suspect. Corpy now facing homicide charges.
And it was only through the surveillance video and some of our witness statements that we could absolutely pinpoint who it was who committed the crime.
Some locals are stunned.
Rowdy, one time a rowdy person, and I've been coming for years, and I've never seen a fight here.
Folks that work here have always been really great.
So when you heard about this?
It's really sad just to imagine someone was trying to break up a fight, which is above and beyond the role that they think they're doing when they're serving patrons at their bar. To be able to step in and do that, I think, is really great. And then to be killed doing so is just a terrible tragedy.
Investigators say the manager was just doing his job by refusing to allow overserved customers in the pub.
I mean, this is one of those tragic examples of how, when alcohol is involved in an incident, something that could be very minor ends up turning into a life-changing event that is affecting many lives.
Again, that suspect now charged with homicide and being held on $2 million bail. We're live in Santa Monica. I'm Sandra Mitchell. Back to you.
All right, Sandy, thanks so much. And this just in, a judge has ruled in favor of tenants of the rent-controlled Barrington Plaza complex in West LA. Hundreds of tenants filed a lawsuit to stop evictions. The owners were trying to remove the tenants under an LA city law that gives landlords the power to evict residents under certain conditions. The owners claim that they needed to perform safety upgrades, but the tenants say they wanted to upgrade the units in order to increase rent. The ruling means that the evictions filed are invalid and the tenants can stay in their units.
A criminal investigation is underway after pro-Palestinian protesters took over and vandalized a student services building at Cal State Los Angeles. The drama unfolded yesterday afternoon while more than 50 university employees were inside. They were ordered to shelter in place, and most were able to leave after about 2 hours. Meantime, vandals overturned furniture, shattered glass, and sprayed graffiti on the property. Protesters want the university to divest from Israeli-based companies. Students have a mixed reaction after seeing the destruction.
It's a good cause, but I feel like there's a certain extent to how to do it. But I mean, like the graffiti, I don't think that's appropriate.
I agree that the students are able to, protest, but I disagree when they start vandalizing, destroying school property.
I just think it's pretty selfish of them. This campus is for everybody. They're just taking over. I don't think it's very appropriate. I don't think they're really accomplishing anything either.
So far, no arrests have been made, and in the meantime, all classes and services have been moved online.
Elsewhere, Occidental College says that it will not divest from companies doing business with Israel. Leaders had agreed to vote on demands from pro-Palestinian protesters to identify and disclose any investments in 4 manufacturing companies that have provided arms and equipment to the Israeli military. The Board of Trustees now says taking a stand on the issue could alienate the community and undermine its diversity. The university says it does not have any direct investments in the 4 companies, and the investments are managed by a third party that restricts a college's ability to divest. The groups behind the protests say they are likely to return to campus.
In other news at 4 o'clock, in a ruling issued today, the U.S. Supreme Court will continue to allow full access to the abortion pill mifepristone. The unanimous decision allows the pills to be mailed to patients without an in-person doctor's visit. The case was brought by anti-abortion doctors, which challenged the Food and Drug Administration's rules to regulate the drug. Conservative Justice Brett Kavanaugh wrote the High Court's opinion, which ruled the plaintiffs did not have a standing to sue the FDA. Mifepristone is used in more than 60% of U.S. abortions.
As expected, Senate Republicans have blocked a Democratic bill to establish nationwide protections for in vitro fertilization. The Right to IVF Act would codify broad federal protections for IVF and also help lower the cost of treatments, making it a lot more accessible. Republicans knocked it down today, voting 48-47. Democrats forced the vote to put the GOP on the record for opposing reproductive rights and protections ahead of the November election. GOP senators have said they favor legal IVF, but they prefer a more narrow bill.
How about this story? A bittersweet day at a Mission Viejo hospital where a dedicated nurse paralyzed in a freak accident made her final rounds. After 30 years as a nursing director, it's not the send-off Deanne Nigella envisioned.
But she still feels very blessed and also is so determined to continue her long road to recovery. Our Jennifer McGraw joins us live from Mission Viejo with the story. Hi, Jen.
Kareen in court, no doubt a story of triumph. Even in the most desperate of times, you can too overcome these hurdles. A bittersweet send-off to a nurse who has dedicated her life to saving others.
Oh, congratulations.
A career ending after more than 3 decades, sadly, not by choice.
You know, this is a tragic accident that happened to me, but it's outside of my control. I can't look back on the calendar.
Deanne Nigella was on a dream vacation visiting the waterfalls in Costa Rica that turned tragedy after a tree limb fell and crushed her spinal cord. After a 9-hour life-saving surgery, she found she was paralyzed from the chest down. For months, recovering in the very hospital she dedicated her life to.
I just appreciate the caregivers that took care of me. You know, they really took care of me as a whole person.
And being cared by her colleagues at Mission Viejo Hospital has been fulfilling in so many ways.
You know, the patients come and go, you know, and it's just the coworkers are what makes a workplace so special. And this is a special place, Mission Hospital.
And to her colleagues, Deanne has been a guiding light since day one and still is.
To have taken care of patients and to lead the Spine Institute and now to have had to be a patient participating in that is really just an extraordinary triumph of courage and strength.
Now shifting focus on her next chapter on regaining her independence with an honorary farewell.
Nobody gets reception in the lobby. And so having that, for them to do that and have such a special reception for me, I just know my coworkers are just amazing people.
And making her final round, saying it's been the most rewarding career.
I'm just so blessed to have so many wonderful people in my life. So many people.
And so much love. She has a family, she's married, but also it's really expensive to retrofit her home. She's still trying to overcome that hurdle. If you'd like to help, there's a GoFundMe on our website. Live in Mission Viejo, Jennifer McGraw. I'll send it back to you in Hollywood.
We're tearing up on that one, Jen. Thank you so much. Stay with us. There's more to come on our Ktla 5 News Update.